North ED for triage.
On it.
We're gonna be overrun. Warn the blood bank.
Copy.
We're gonna need to call in
The rest of the trauma team.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Dr. Goodwin. Nelson Pena. I'm the lead investigator with the NTSB.
Welcome to our little bubble. I assume everybody tested negative?
My GO team's fully intact and ready to begin the investigation.
Well, that's good to hear, but isn't the plane still floating in the East River?
This GO team deals with the human element of these incidents.
Sounds like we're on the same side.
No doubt. We'll do our best to stay out of your way. We just need to interview every crew member and passenger who may have pertinent information.
Well, roger that. Sorry. As long as it doesn't interfere with patient care, I will help in any way I can.
Understood. We want to start with the pilots. Captain Starks?
I'll find him for you. Hey, have you seen the pilot?
Yes, actually, right here.
What am I looking at?
Captain Dane Starks, he has been catatonic since he arrived.
There's no masses, there's no bleeds, ventricles are normal. This looks fine.
No, that's the problem. It's not that he can't talk, it's that he won't.
Dr. Goodwin,
You guys always walk together like that?
we have rehearsals at noon. You're welcome to join. Any update on the pilots?
Right, the pilot. Sorry.
Some of the passengers reported seeing him acting strangely before the flight. If Captain Starks knew he was impaired before duty, then this becomes a criminal case.
Right. Well, Captain Starks is currently with his physician, but once we're done, let you
We'd
know.
like to test his blood alcohol
Unfortunately,
levels.
you can't interrupt the patient's evaluation.
Evaluation? So then the pilot's not actually injured?
Look, Agent.
Investigate.
See, that makes sense because it's your job to investigate and it's our job to heal. So once we're done...
Dr. Goodwin, to clarify, you're blocking access to a key witness.
I'm helping a patient.
You know, sometimes when people are having a hard time talking, it's not because they are scared, it's because they're distracted. You know, their brain keeps wandering off into the most random pockets of life. They try to focus, but they can't. You ever feel like that? Yeah, I think we all do. But that's only part of it. The other part is that right when your brain gets into a groove, bam, it's right back there. It's in it again, it's in the crash, all over again. But then those memories disappear and you try to go back to them, but your brain wanders off again and you can't focus and round you go. And you start to wonder if this is what it's like to go insane. But it's not. It's trauma. And trauma is a beast. It's invisible, it's not gonna show up on your CT, but it's real. It's as real as cancer. And just like cancer, if it goes untreated, it'll get worse. That is a fact. But you know, Dane, all of these things that you're feeling, I can help them go away, but you have to start talking to me. That's where we start.
I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's perfectly normal, actually.
No, I was having a manic episode. Nobody knows. I'm bipolar.
I am not telling you where any of our patients are.
Ma'am, we are authorized to speak to any individual who may have information.
Hey, whoa, enough. You don't have the right to come into this hospital and rip a patient away from their doctor, violating HIPAA rules.
As a matter of fact, we do.
What is this?
A federal order issued by the United States Department of Justice, which supersedes HIPAA by 120 years. So I'll ask one more time. Where's the pilot?
So it's my understanding that pilots with bipolar can still fly as long as they're on the proper medication.
They can. They can also end up with nothing but 3 a.m. flights, no raises, and a nudge out the door.
Regulations exist to protect you against retaliation.
You got kids?
Do I have kids? Yeah, I do. Like, a lot.
All right, so your oldest is taking her first solo flight. You find out the pilot is bipolar. How good are you feeling?
I'd feel great about it.
Excuse me?
Well, you asked me how I'd feel if I found out the pilot on my kid's first flight was bipolar. I'd feel great about it. Because I know that you're no more likely to have an episode than the next pilot is to have a heart attack. So, I feel great about it. What's your current treatment plan?
I see someone once a month. I take lithium, 300 milligrams daily, 25 milligrams of antidepressant, antipsychotic every other day.
What about your flight record? Any safety incidents?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna mirror that back for you. You're in treatment. It's working. You know your dosage to the milligram, which indicates that you are a highly responsible individual. And I don't know about you, but that is something I tend to like in my pilot. What about this morning? You take your medication?
Yeah.
All right, so what are we talking about?
4 years ago, this cop buddy of mine, we're having a beer at the end of the airfield, talking shop, laughing. I realized that I was controlling the planes with my mind. Landings, takeoffs. And in fact, I was controlling the whole world with my mind. He took me to the hospital, and that's how I was diagnosed.
All right. I'm sorry, that sounds awful.
No, but that's not the point. He didn't take me to the hospital because I was having a delusion. It was because my response to the delusion was to grab his gun and to point it at my head. What if that's what I was doing again? Today.
You think that this plane crash was you trying to kill yourself? Hey, sorry about the new digs. I just thought maybe a change of scenery would be...
NTSB is looking for me, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Okay, look, so you should just hand me over. I mean, I put hundreds, I mean, if not thousands of people at risk, and I don't deserve special treatment.
No, Dane. Whoa. Slow down, Dane. I need you to help me with something. Why do jets dump fuel?
What?
Well, the ED just admitted about a dozen or so patients that were all doused in jet fuel.
So more people hurt?
Dane, stay with me. Why do planes dump fuel?
It's how you achieve ideal landing weight. You can't land if you're too heavy.
Okay, so if you were going to land early, let's say, or unexpectedly, you would dump the fuel. You would, am I right?
Yeah.
So why would you dump that fuel if you weren't trying to save the plane? Not crash it. You weren't trying to crash the plane. You were trying to save the plane.
Or I was just out of my mind and hitting random buttons like a lunatic. I mean, look, it doesn't mean anything. All we know is that my plane crashed.
No, that's not true. Actually, we know one other thing, Dane. We know where you crashed. Right? I bet that river looks pretty striking when you're flying over Manhattan. That little streak of blue right down the middle.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Kind of like a landing strip, maybe? Dane, you didn't hit a building. You didn't hit a street. You went right into the middle of the river. The one place, by the way, with the lowest risk of injury for civilians for miles. Miles. And you're going to tell me that that's an accident?